So I'm gonna do a quick video on how to replace a water exchanger on a water control valve on a Rheem gas furnace. We bought this from Home Depot a while back, and when we renovated this house behind us and put it underneath the crawl space, everything was fine until we went to get the part which was leaking and found out that you can't get it at a standard Rheem dealer, and had to order it through Rheem, and it took about 3 days. So our dishes have been piled up 3 days without hot water, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to replace this pretty quickly. I am not an electrician or a plumber, but I can do a DIY job and show you how to get it done. So my crawl space down here is where we put it. I'm assuming the lighting probably will not. That's okay. I mean, a great area for it. I already unplugged it and had actually started working on it a little bit, but I'll show you. So this is the system. Comes with this little program board. It's a Rheem. I can't remember the exact model number or model, but here are the specifications, but I'll put them in the comments. I mean, I'll put it in the link in the description. So take this off. Here's your motherboard. This is what generates your hot water. So you have your hot water inlet, and cold water inlet, hot water outlet right here to the house. And here's the part that went bad: water control valve. So it basically mixes your hot and your cold and sends it on through the house. After we removed this board, I went ahead and backed out one screw and just screwed it up. Everything's still connected. There's only one wire you need to disconnect, and that is this one to the water control valve. And then after that, you can see there are two quick clamps, quick disconnects, one for both the hot and cold back here. So I'm going to pop those off. Before I pop it off, I went ahead and turned my gas off. If it were on, it would be on, you know, in line with the pipe, but you turned it off. And thankfully I have these disconnects right here. Turn off valves, quick turn off valves, both for the hot and cold. So I went ahead and turned both of these off right here. And I'm going to drain the unit. So I'm going to get all the water out and put a bucket underneath. And I forgot that I had already done this. So, oh, I'm sorry, here. A bit more water. You can open it up fully. Get all the water out of your system. Because this will have a little pressure behind it, so you don't want water splashing everywhere when you go to take it out. That should drain all the water. A little towel to keep it away from my water indicator right here, which is just a little sensor if it gets water. I don't want to mess up anything after I go to. I'm going to pop these quick connects off. You can see right here. That's one. I'm going to set it to the side. The second one is the back. It's the exact same thing. Be careful with your copper piping. You don't want to. I'm trying to film and do this kind of hard. Let's see if I turn it this way. There we go. I may have to put the camera down just for a second. Much easier with two hands. That's why I guess the Lord gave us two. The new unit looks exactly like the other one, thankfully. So I'm going to start out by inserting this one on here, just like that, before my quick connect back here. I'm going to, both of those are connected, and now all I have to do, oh, still leaking a little bit in the back. Oops, maybe I'm not all the way on. There we go. I'm gonna put my disconnects on, and I shouldn't have this water leaking problem anymore. Disconnects just pop on just like so. And I know I'm gonna get some plumbers giving me some comments on this, but hey, I didn't want a $89 visit and then a $200 or $300 repair cost. This was under warranty, so this part was free. And I felt confident to do it myself after I found out it was leaking and not working properly underneath. So how about that? Okay, both clips are back on. Make sure you get a nice pop. So you want to make sure that both these lines are in between your quick clamp right there. And that back one's a little tricky too, but all right, I'm gonna dry this out. Let's dry this out, because you cannot have water down here on these probes. It will trigger an error and feel like your unit will tell you that something's wrong. To preserve the electrical and everything in it, it shuts it off. I forget what that code is. I'll have to put that in the description as well. I'm going to reconnect these, turn this off. This is just for flushing your system, which you, again, you'll have to do this occasionally too. I'll do another video on those, but there are some good ones out there. Hey, bud.
Hey, Dad.
All right, get out of here. I'm making a video. So go ahead and turn my gas back on here, and there is only one connection. Hopefully this didn't get wet. And again, this comes on the system right here, and there's only one option to plug this into, so I'm going to do that. Say, because I've been in this unit a couple times now, that the best way to move this board to the side is from underneath. So you have 2 screws underneath here and there, so just 2 of them right here, 2 of them. And then you don't have to worry about taking actually this board off, because you can take just the board and kind of put your hand through it, but it's better to remove the whole board to give you working area if you have to get back here to identify a leak or to change the water. Thing is put back, and like I said, this system has a on-off switch right here in the unit after you pop the cap off the cover, but I just always just unplug it. Safest, easiest. You don't have to worry about your on-off switch right here. So I'm gonna put these screws and get this board secured back. So let's fire it back up and see how we did. I turned the gas back on. You will, putting these back on, don't jerk them. Water is gonna lightly, slowly turn. Get your water going back. And I actually only put 1 screw to make sure nothing's leaking and this part is working properly. There is gonna be a little water. That's from what I just did. So drain that. Turn this one back, the hot water back on. And there's gonna be a bunch of air. So I'm gonna go inside and actually turn on a hot water faucet too while I do this. Here we go. Turn this on. I'm just gonna leave that running for a minute while I get it going. All right, let's get back in there. All right, now finish turning my hot water on. All right, I don't see any leaks. I'm gonna plug my system back up. She's firing up. Water should be good. My control board is coming on. Praying I don't get another error. I saw the heat come on, the gas. It's looking good, 125 degrees Fahrenheit. The shower is on, the water is on, so it's telling me the shower is on. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. Turn this off. Totally good. So I like that these do have has a little hanging right there. I will screw this back in a minute, but there you go. This is error 66 on the Rheem gas water furnace, and this is the replacement for that. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm not a professional. I'm just a DIYer who didn't want to pay an expensive repair cost, but I would definitely reach out to a Rheem person if you are not comfortable doing what I just showed you.